Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of the day you're watching this broadcast or you're listening to this podcast. This is Dr. Eric Tangumonkem with IEM Approach, where we inspire, equip, and motivate people to discover God's great potential in them, develop that potential, and deploy it. The purpose of this broadcast is to inspire you, is to equip you, is to motivate you to rise up to the occasion and make a difference in your life, in the lives of those around you, and in your generation. You are here for a time such as this. Your life has meaning. Your life has purpose. You are not the result of a cosmic accident. You are not the result of some random mutations. You are not a result of an accident. There is design, there is purpose for your life. And my desire for you is that you find that purpose, get behind it with all what you have. I have been sharing with you my faith walk because I made a promise to God that when He moves in my lives and performs the miracle of bringing me to the United States of America, I was going to testify. I was going to share with the entire world that God is alive. He is involved in the affairs of men, that He answers prayer. Part of the reason I'm having this broadcast today is because questions often come up. Does prayer work? Should we even bother to pray? How does faith interface with the different aspects of our lives? I'm sharing with you my own experiences with the hope that you will be able to answer some of these questions for yourself. I will share with you what has worked for me, because there are those who say prayer does not work, but they seldomly pray, or they've never even bothered to pray. How do you know prayer does not work? When you don't pray. The main thrust of the broadcast today is about how to deal with anxiety, how to deal with uncertainties, how to deal with fear, how to deal with the unknown. When you are in a situation where you don't know what the outcome is going to be, when everything around you is falling apart, when you are under immense pressure, when you have a lot of uncertainties, how do you move forward? How do you keep everything together? How do you make the right decisions? How do you stand strong and not cave into pressure? It's very important to understand how to deal with adversities, how to deal with circumstances that will come your way that you may think you've not been prepared for. We're living in a day and time where there is a lot of uncertainty going on, and many people are anxious because of the direction the economy is going, because of the pestilences that we are dealing with, and many other things are making life a little difficult. It's important to stay put. It's important for you to understand that you are not alone. God has promised to be with us always, even to the end of the age. And I'm going to start with this scripture that has a lot to teach us in the time of adversities, in the times of difficulties. During our last broadcast, I shared with you that in 2009, because of the economy and the difficulties in the oil and gas industry, I got laid off. I had a family that was looking up to me. We were in Denver at the time, and we decided to move back to Dallas. I had a lot going on. As an international worker, not having a job meant that my visa had expired, and so I had to do something to fix it. The first priority was to make sure that I was legal in the country. And in that bad economy, it wasn't easy to get a job because I was not having the legal framework for that to happen. So that brought a lot of pressure. But remember this. In Ephesians 4, 6 and 7, it is written, "Be anxious for nothing, but in everything, by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your request be made known to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything, by prayer, supplication, and thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God." There are three parts to this that I want you to apply in your life, because that is the very thing I did when I was faced with these difficulties of trying to figure out the way forward based upon the circumstances that we're dealing with. It says in everything, don't be anxious. Anxiety comes as a result of not knowing what the future holds. It's driven by fear, by doubt, and it's a clear indication of lack of faith. That's why faith is very important. I remember the incidents when Jesus was in the boat with the apostles, and he had given them instructions that we should go over to the other side of the lake. And in the middle of the lake, there was a ferocious storm that rose up, and the boat was almost capsizing because of water was entering in, and Jesus was just in the boat sleeping, and the apostles were running helter-skelter, screaming and yelling and calling out, "Master, Master, get up! Don't you care if we drown?" They got really irrational, not knowing that with Jesus in the boat, there was just no way the boat will sink. Who is in your boat? Who are you doing life with? When Jesus got up, he spoke to the storm. The storm calmed down, and the apostles were so surprised. And Jesus said, "You lack faith. The way you speak, how you react would tell those around you if you have confidence, if you have faith, if you are courageous or not. Be anxious for nothing. In everything, everything means everything. The good, the bad, the ugly. Everything doesn't mean when the economy is going well. Everything doesn't mean only when you're in good health. Everything doesn't mean only when you have a lot of money saved. It means in everything. Wherever you are right now, this applies to you. If everything is going well for you, be thankful. If things are not going well for you, be thankful. Because in your life, there is always something good that is happening. Yes, I was dealing with unemployment. I was dealing with the situation of trying to figure out what to do with my legal status, but we were all in good health. We had a vehicle to be able to move us from Denver to Dallas. And that's why you have to pray. God answers prayer. Stop trying to do it alone. Whatever you are dealing with right now, I want you to pray. I want you to ask God for help. While we were in the midst of making that decision to move to Dallas, I was no longer making any money, and so cash was tight. We're trying to hold to the severance package that has been given to me. I just told my wife, I wish somebody could give us a place to stay for some time while we try to figure out what to do. And I got this phone call from a friend who offered his house for us to stay in there for a month. That was an answer to prayer. At least that break gave us some time to figure out what to do, how to look for our own place, and how to move forward. When you are in the midst of difficulties, when you are in the midst of hardship, when you are in the midst of uncertainties, instead of panicking, throwing up your hands and feeling that everything has been lost, I think the first thing to do is to pray. Tell God about it. Give it to God. You are not alone. That's what I did. And just that little gesture of this place opening up for us to stay for a month strengthened our faith. And we knew that no matter how difficult things were at that time, we were going to overcome eventually. I'm not saying that in the midst of it, it was easy. It wasn't. There was so much going on, so much uncertainty, so much pressure. But we did what we usually do. We prayed. And God started moving. Everything didn't end in one day. It's going to take us a couple of years to completely recover, to see God come through in a mighty way, as you're going to hear. But we had to take one step at a time, believing God to see us through. I really don't know what you're dealing with right now, but I would suggest that you pray. Is your business failing? Is your health failing? Relationship failing? What is it that you are dealing with? No matter what it's it, please take some time off, slow down, and pray. Hand it to God. He's going to take care of it. If you don't know how to pray, we can teach you how to pray. If you don't have a relationship with God, that too can be established. I like talking about the eternal dimension of our lives. Because of this, the life that we have on earth here is very short. Let's assume you're going to live up to 100. You can do the math and know how much longer you have left. And that's why Jesus said something that is so powerful, so powerful. And I don't want you to miss out on it, because when it comes to the eternal destiny of your soul, I think it's something to think about it and make sure that you are doing everything within your power to take care of that important aspect of your life. Jesus said, "What shall it profit a man if he gains the whole world and yet forfeit his soul? Or what shall you give in exchange for your soul?" Your soul is eternal. Your soul is going to live forever. You have a spirit part. You're going to live forever. And the question is, are you prepared for eternity? It's very important. It doesn't matter how successful you are here right now. I really want you to be successful. I want you to live in health. I want you to prosper. I want you to win big. I want your business to do great. However, none of us is going to leave this planet with anything. That is why it's important for you to be spiritually alive. Don't be disappointed. This is the most important thing maybe you've heard for a long time. If you haven't taken care, if you're not sure of where you are going, now is the time to know. Now is the time to know. When I talk about success, I have a holistic approach. I believe you need to be successful spiritually and physically. In other words, you need to be materially well off and spiritually well off. I'm not only going to tell you about how to make more money, how to be a great speaker, how to be a great influencer, without telling you that your soul is very important and that you need to take care of it as well if you want to be truly and eternally successful. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving. I read the other day, it seems to say Elon Musk who said that you hire for attitude, not for skill. You hire for attitude, not for skill. In other words, you can always train people to do something, but if people don't have the right attitude, attitude has to do with the spirit. Attitude has to do with your inner person, and it's very important for you to have the right attitude. And I think an attitude of gratitude is going to take you to places. Giving thanks is an attitude of gratitude. When was the last time you gave thanks? Or you're always complaining? You are well, nothing good is happening. It's not true. Look close in your life right now as we speak. There are many things in your life that are going right. I am not undermining the difficulties that you are facing right now. I'm not undermining the challenges that you are facing right now. But if you are living in a situation where you can get up in the morning, turn on the tap, hot water flows out, or cold water flows out, I want you to think about the kids who have to get up in the morning, carry dishes in a big bowl, big container, and take it to the stream to wash those dishes. And then carry them on their heads and bring them back home because they don't have pipe-borne water. And you're complaining because you don't want to put your dishes in the dishwasher. You think about that. I was one of those kids when I was growing up. Again, this is not a pity party. I just want you to know there is a lot going on in your life right now that you need to be thankful for. Just because you missed that promotion, it doesn't mean that you should get into depression. You have good health. Different people are dealing with different things. No matter how difficult life is for you right now, lift up your head, be thankful, have an attitude of gratitude. That is going to give a technical knockout to anxiety. It's going to give a technical knockout to depression and to worry and to fear. I recommend that you practice gratitude. You practice giving thanks. Most of us like to complain all the time. Thanksgiving is something that you need to cultivate. That is why this verse is saying that you have to be thankful. You have to consciously do it. This is what I do when I get up each day. I write down at least 5 things that I'm thankful for. And the first one is always, I thank God for watching over me during the night, for waking me up for that day, and for all the great things that He has for me during that day. Can you get a notepad and a pen or a pencil? When you get up each day before you leave the house, force yourself to identify 5 good things in your life that you like and write them down. I read this the other day. This lady went to the counselor and said, our marriage is about to die out. I just don't love my husband anymore. There's no light and no sparkle in the relationship at all. I just want to bail out. I want a divorce. The counselor told this lady, you know what? Yeah, you can bail out, but I would just want you for the next 30 days. Love this man to the best of your ability. And after that, you leave. Just go over the next 30 days and put in your all in that relationship. Do everything. And after 30 days, you're free to go. The lady went and loved the man with, looked for all the good things that were in his life and just poured in and did everything. And after 30 days, she realized that indeed, she truly loved her husband and she was not going anywhere. When you allow fear, anxiety, and worry to cloud you, it's going to prevent you from seeing what you are already having. Remember, faith is being sure of what to hope for and certain of what you've not seen, or the evidence of things hoped for, the substance of things not seen. A big aspect of faith is the ability to see the future, its ability to see the end from the beginning. Fear, anxiety, and worry clouds your vision. You're unable to see where you're going. you're unable to see the end result. Because of that, you're going to make mistakes. I want you to activate your faith, clear your mind, and focus on where you're going. You do this by being prayerful, by offering supplication. Don't only pray for yourself, pray for other people, and give thanks. Have an attitude of gratitude. I packed the little that we're left with. We got in the U-Haul and the van we were having at that time, drove down to Texas, got into my friend's house, and we stayed there for 1 month. I enrolled in the MBA program at UT Dallas with the hope that I was going to get some teaching assistantship that will help me be able to pay for the tuition. But I was in for a surprise because that didn't go through. I thought, having graduated here, now I have a Ph.D., how difficult was it for them to give me an assistantship to do an MBA? They didn't give me anything. Have you been waiting for a break and it has not come? Don't give up. That just threw a big ball curve on our path. We were counting so much that assistantship was going to just help a lot, pay for the school. MBA is not cheap. Back then, tuition was what, $8,000 a semester just for the courses. And here I was not working or making any money at all. And I was faced with this type of bill. Remember, I had just finished school, debt-free. Now I was back in school, not by my choosing, but because of circumstances. I want you to remember this. You do the right thing, not because the conditions are right. You do it because it's the right thing to do. You do the right thing not because it's the popular thing to do. You do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. You do the right thing not because it's easy to do. You do the right thing because you have to do the right thing. You are going to be tempted. You are going to be tried. When that time comes, you need to stand firm, because I've lived to share this with you. We're going to continue next time to see how we're able not only to stay in school, but finally got everything worked out for us. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you are anxious, if you need somebody to pray with you, you have a number on the screen. Call it. If you have a question, there's an email on the screen as well. Email us. For those of you who are listening through the IAM Approach podcast, the number is 214-908-3963. 214-908-3963. And the email is eternalkingdom101@gmail.com. eternalkingdom101@gmail.com. This is a phase of my faith walk that I'm sharing with you. I've written a book about it. Very easy to read. Grab a copy. You can either go on my website, iamapproach.com, under books, or on Amazon, Kubo Books, Barnes & Nobles. The book is all over. You are going to love it. It's going to strengthen your faith. It's going to encourage you. And if you know somebody that is facing difficulties, I want you to get a copy for them as well. Thank you for watching. God bless you. You have been listening to Dr. Eric Tangumonkem with IEM Approach, where we inspire, equip, and motivate people to discover God's great potential in them, develop that potential, and deploy it. See you tomorrow for another broadcast. Have a fantastic day.